Hey. Y otra vez soñé con vos, pero desperté y seguías muerto. Y después de ponerme a llorar, me di cuenta de cuánto lo siento. Y amanece en Buenos Aires, yo me tomo el tren y voy al centro. No me acuerdo dónde estoy, todo se confunde en el cemento. Yo sigo creyendo en que quizás esto sea un sueño y nada más. Yo sigo creyendo en que quizás pueda despertarme una vez más y en otro canal. Cantando encontré, cantando encontré. Y eso que quería ver. Cantando encontré, cantando encontré. Y eso que quería ver. Me hablan, yo quedo en silencio. No me acuerdo dónde estoy, se me mezclan todos los recuerdos. Y en el río te dejé, el agua te devolvió al puerto. Yo me vuelvo a ni sé qué y vos seguiste viaje en otro cuento. Yo sigo creyendo en que quizás eso sea un sueño y nada más. Yo sigo creyendo en que quizás pueda despertarme una vez más y en otro canal. Cantando encontré, cantando encontré. Y eso que quería ver. Cantando encontré, cantando encontré. Y eso que quería ver. Cantando encontré. Y eso que quería ver.
Now it's live.
Yeah.
Welcome, Cisco.
Hi.
Welcome to Son of a Pigeon.
We're recording, yes.
Podcast.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
There on top.
It's on top. It's recording. It's gonna be a long one, so you see just a little bit now.
Okay, yeah.
It's gonna be a long one. What's up, man?
Good. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Thank you for coming, brother.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have good vibes. You have interesting energies. First of all, the music that you're playing is a kind of it's bossa nova stylish, but it sounds to me more progressive. Bossa nova.
It's like yes, like I'm not Brazilian, but I'm neighbors, you know. So we all kind of in South America, especially nowadays, we exchange influences and styles. Yeah. It's it's funny because it's like for for the people here, I'm a little bit exotic, and from the people out down there, I'm also a little bit exotic because I live here. So I feel a little bit in between all the time. Yeah.
A unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come from Argentina, right?
I come from Argentina, yes.
Which city you come from?
Buenos Aires.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you know Federico, that's how we got connected, right? I
Yes.
offered some photo session and you came.
He's also from Buenos Aires, and we are also from the same football team, so we watch football together sometimes.
Oh, it's even stronger if you have the same football team.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy is cool, Federico. Cool. Tell a little bit about yourself for the people who are listening right now.
Well, as I mentioned now, like I'm from Argentina, I live in Berlin, I'm a musician. I came to Europe like some time ago to study. I had the chance to study jazz bass guitar in Austria, which I did. And then I moved to Germany because I had to play, like I had like a chance to play it in some bands in Munich, and I had like the chance to be a music teacher in a school, which I did. It was an interesting experience.
In Austria?
No, in Munich, in a city near Munich called Starnberg.
And you were teaching in German?
I was teaching in German, yes.
Cool.
It was like a private school for rich kids. And I was like the exotic South American teacher, you know. It was fun, but it's definitely not for me. This kind of pedagogics, like yes, I'm not teaching anymore since a long time. I'm just playing, and I'm producing a lot of music for commercial purposes. Yes. Yeah, that's a little bit what I am and why I came here to the postcard. No,
it's a long way from Austria up the way to Berlin.
Yeah,
it's conservative as you go lower, souther, and then when you go norther, it's getting more and more wacky. Yes. You reach Berlin, or maybe you reach the Nordic countries, where they can be even more crazy. You know, it depends if you go in the summer or in winter.
Yes,
two extremes.
Yes, it's crazy. I mean, like I've been here like the first time in Berlin. I think it was like 2006 or 7. I was like touring with the reggae band, and I was here and I spent like a weekend here singing, and I had a lot of fun, and it was crazy. I was like, I fell in love immediately with the city, and yes.
When did you move in?
I moved in 2012 to Berlin. Yeah.
Oh, you came in a good time.
In winter, a great time to move to Berlin.
Yeah, it depends if you look at it as a year-wise or if you look as a decade-wise. I came 2017 to Berlin, okay. And I felt it was the last years of having the classic Berlin before it started to become really expensive.
Yes, I mean, like, but everybody says that, you know. I mean, like, when I moved in 2012, I also had, like, it was the last year, you know, and the people that moved in 2004 probably will tell you the same.
Yeah, I think so. How much the rent was in 2012? It was really cheap back then.
I don't know. I mean, I paid for money. Well, it was a great, what we call here a WG-Zimmer, you know, like a shared room, a room in an apartment we shared. A shared apartment, a room in a shared apartment, that's it. I paid like 400 euros. So it was not that cheap. It was not like, whoa, you know.
No, but if it was expensive back then,
yeah, but it was a great room, and hey, now you hear things on the prices that it's like, yes, things change a lot. But I think it changed a lot, like in a lot of places. I mean, like when I studied music in Austria, I studied in a city called Linz, and you know, like the Austrians that were studying with me, most of them, they finished their studies and they moved to Vienna, which is like the big city in Austria.
Yeah.
And Vienna was cheap at that time. I mean, people were moving, like I'm talking about also 2006, 2007, people were moving to Vienna and, you know, finding nice apartments for 300-400 euros in cool neighborhoods. Which now is impossible. I mean, yeah.
Austria is usually more expensive than Germany, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's more or less the same.
Yeah.
It depends where you go in Germany, where you go in Austria, but I think they move hand by hand. But I think this rent craziness, it's been happening like almost in every, let's say, cool city.
In everywhere, not just cool city.
Yeah.
Even not in
No,
cool
well,
places.
if you go to a shitty place, you know.
It's still get more expensive.
Yes, but you know, if you go to like a little city, like in a place where nobody wants to live.
Everywhere, even in Portugal.
Oh, okay.
It's cheaper than here for sure, but
Yes.
it's got expensive.
No, well, but Portugal is now like I've never been there, but I heard it's like a fashion country now. Like everybody's talking about Portugal now. It's like,
yeah, Portugal is where you're gonna live.
we should make this podcast in Lisbon, man.
I would, yeah. Well, if someone hears it with money,
this is outdated.
Yeah, Lisbon everywhere, man. My dream is actually to take a car, we take all the gear with me and just go into different big cities in the world.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
find the musicians and just do interviews with them like we do now.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Imagine that. That would be amazing.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, why not? But it takes some time. It takes some effort.
Yeah.
I need sugar daddy for that. Someone who would pay for my expeditions.
Yes.
But it's cool, man. The podcast itself, this format is one of the best formats to do in order to get to know people, to create a community, to spread out.
Yes.
Podcast, it's incredible.
It's also the cool thing. I've been making like a lot of interviews lately in Buenos Aires or in Argentina because I finished my new album in like a few months ago. And the interviews, like most of them, is like, okay, you know, we have 6 minutes, you know.
Yeah. What can you do in 6 minutes?
No, well, you push it, you know, you talk about your things, you sell what, yes, they ask questions, like they're like
prepared.
It goes to the point, you know. I mean, like, dude, Argentinian guy, lives in Berlin, you know, tell us how cool is the city, and now tell us about your new album, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I'm selling my shit.
Yeah.
Which is cool, you know, someone is hearing the radio or like this, some are like Instagram lives and yeah. Well, the Instagram lives, they are more like the podcast form, you know, they're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
But radios are, yeah.
Yeah, the radio in a hurry, the newspaper sometimes in a hurry.
Yeah, well, but there's like just text, so I don't care if they're in a hurry. It's not real time.
And you're doing music full time.
Yes.
That's what you do. You play guitar, but you start as a bass player.
Yeah, I also play bass.
At the same time.
No, I don't play bass and guitar at the same time. I still cannot
like
manage that. There are some guys, you know, I mean, like, when you watch YouTube, you see, like, everything, you know, so it's like, I kind of believe that everything is possible, you know. And you might find a video of people doing, like, weird stuff. No, I'm mainly a bass player, but I play a lot of concerts alone. So, when I started playing alone, I kind of decided like, okay, like, should I like practice like crazy to make a show playing the bass and singing, which will be like boring. After half an hour or 20 minutes, you know, you see a guy playing the bass and singing. I mean, I love the instrument, but it's an instrument, in my opinion, to play in a band, you know. So I decided to play the guitar when I play alone, because, you know, you show the whole harmony, and it's like, it's a more friendly instrument for a singer-songwriter, let's say.
Yeah, definitely.
So yes, when I play with band, I play the bass, which I love to play the bass, and I sing. And when I play alone, I play the guitar. Or maybe sometimes I play like in duo, you know, and then I play the guitar too, or the bass if the other guy is an harmonic instrument, yeah.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
How many projects do you have active at the moment?
Well, mine, which have different formats. Then I'm playing, as a bass player, I play salsa with a Colombian band that is here in Berlin. Cool. Yeah, it's called Mil Santos. They're really good. I really like to play with them. It's really fun. Sometimes they just call me for different projects as a bass player. And then what I do a lot is like writing for publicities or producing music, you know.
You just give them finished songs,
I give them finished songs, and yes.
and they give it to artists, and if the artists like it, they use it.
No, they put it like for commercials, and yeah. Sometimes I work with documentary films, or yeah.
What kind of commercials uses the music?
I like
Some sexy.
No, they're called like libraries, you know, and then the libraries are full of them, and then these guys they sell them, and there are like a lot of content to be made, and it can be like a commercial.
All right.
I did a few, but also they use it a lot like for TV, you know, when they're like, you know, making an interview, you know, I don't know, like somewhere in a petrol station in the countryside, something happened, you know.
Yeah, they have music
and
everywhere.
they're interviewing someone, and then, you know, the camera just like make a take of 6 seconds showing like the petrol station, for example, and then there's like little music that nobody really likes, you know, like, and that for example, you know, which is a job we will finally lose in a few years because of AI.
It's already a losing battle right now.
Yes. But yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of this music is like that. And well, yes, sometimes there is like, okay, a song that I write for a band, or like I wrote a lot of text also here in Germany for bands that they wanted like a Spanish text. Because they play like, you know, like Latin or reggae music, and they want to sound more, you know, sunshine. And that's what they think the sunshine sounds like. Well, and and yeah. So I wrote a lot of text, which is it was very fun. Or like some documentaries, which I was like those guys are funny to work with. Like most of the times happened to me, like they call me, you know, like, hey, how you doing? You know, and I'm like, I'm okay, how are you? I'm okay. Can you make a song exactly like this one? But that is not that one. And I listen to the song, you know, and I'm like, yes, I can, you know. When do you need it? Yesterday. You know? And there are these guys at work sometimes that, you know, they make a documentary, and sometimes they realize that they cannot use the song, you know, or they have like some kind of conflict with
with the copyrights.
Yeah, with the copyrights, or, you know, like, I don't know. And then I have to make like a song that sounds like that. And it's a very interesting challenge.
It's nice, like reverse engineering.
Yeah, like reverse engineering, exactly. But of course, it doesn't have to be that song, so you have to change a lot of things. It's a functional song anyway.
How do you make it sound like the song, but without copying the song?
Well, first of all, like the timing of the song, you know, the tempo of the song, the style of the song.
So you copy the instruments?
Yes, like the sounds.
Yeah.
The style, you know, if it's like ballad, for example, you know,
Yeah.
or if it's like I don't know, like a up-tempo rockabilly, let's call it like something, you know. And then like the tempo this song is played, you know, like, okay, that's also very important when you're writing for people that edit the tempo, you know, like, yeah. Like editing film has a tempo, you know, like where it's cut and how it's cut. So yes, and then, okay, you gave okay, it's a song like minor song, it's a song, a major song, and there you play there, you know, and then while you try to break it, you know, like, okay, you don't make like the same harmonic cadence, but okay, so it's like a minor thing, has like the same sounds, it's the same tempo, the same style, you know, and it works like with the same form, for example, you know, okay, you have like 2 refrains and then 1 verse, you know, and then you have a little bridge. So at the end you have like something very similar but sounds different. That is it's not a copy, you know, it's like an inspired song in this song. You know?
Inspired by, yeah.
Yes. Because the melody is other and the harmony is other, you know, so yeah.
How do you manage the chord progression? Do you find something yourself, or you try somehow to mimic the movements?
Well, the movements is like, you know, in chord progressions, you know, like now we're talking more technically, you have like chord functions, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's say like you have like 1-4-5,
Yeah.
you know, and instead of making 1-4-5, you make 1-2-5, for example, which the 2 is the same function as the 4, or the other way around. If it's a 2, you play a 4, you know.
So just substitute the chords.
So you substitute the chords, you know, and like if it's coming again like to the 1, you go to a 6, you know, or like yes, or you make an inversion, you know, or like you make another, maybe sometimes like I try to make like another cadence, you know, or like longer, you know, or like yes. But that's mainly, and of course in another tonality, you know.
The tonality, yes.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I don't like copying, you know. I think copying when it's another way of working, you know. I mean, like real artists get inspired on songs. They don't copy in the sense of like 1-to-1, you know. I think like nobody really copies, you know. I think there sometimes there are like accidents, let's call it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're like some evil people that they copy things, but if someone is making that, they're like really aware of like laws and lawyer shit and like, you know.
Yeah, it's very gray area since music is generated, and there are some combinations that no matter what they're going to work. And there are some chords that no matter what, this relationship between both of them, you know, whatever chords you play or this melody line is gonna work.
Yeah.
And sometimes we are exposed to a lot of music and maybe some melodies get stuck in our minds.
Yes.
And then when we put it out, there is someone already done it. That's why it inspired us.
Yeah.
And that's a bit tricky.
It is tricky, yes.
Yeah, I think...
And I think the only like real copying is the melody, because like the chords is like, I mean, there are chord progressions that there are like hundreds and hundreds of pop songs with the same chord progression. I mean, like, you cannot copy a chord progression, you know. I mean, like, you can, but it's not copyright infringement, you know. Or like a drum beat or like a sound, you know. I mean, like,
a drum beat can be copyright, actually, no? If you sample something that is
well, but if you sample, not if you play that beat, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, like,
but if you play, let's say, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, start with this drum beat, you know this one?
Which one is that one?
Paul Simon, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Dun, 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 dun.
Ah, yes.
Make a new plan, Jack. Don't need to be coy, Roy. So the drums is the most iconic intro in the drum world, you know?
Yes, maybe if you play something like that, okay, yes.
Yeah, I think artist needs to have a unique kind of style. And then whatever you play, even if million of people played it before you, you will color it in your own vibe.
Yes.
And that will make it yours.
Yes. It's also like music is an evolution, no? I mean, like generations copy what was in the generation before, and then they started changing it a little bit, you know? I mean, like, everything we hear nowadays is like an evolution of something that already happened, you know?
It's all the same in the end.
Yes.
It's all the same, just different variations.
The point with copyrights means it's a matter of money, you know.
I think so as well.
Yes.
It's a bureaucracy and money.
Yeah.
It's a way to people to fuck other people because they...
Or to protect other people.
Or to protect other people.
Yeah.
Protection. How do you see it as a protection? As copyright?
I see it as a protection, you know, because I mean, like copyright was also made. That's also like this conversation I'm having, you know, about streaming. You know, there are a lot of like musicians I know that are against streaming, and you cannot be against what's going on. You know, I mean, you cannot be against AI. You cannot be against the internet. You cannot be, you know, against what's happening. You know, it's happening. You cannot do anything about it. You know, I mean, maybe if a dictator comes and says, okay, now it's forbidden, you know, okay. Or if everything crashes and there's no more electricity, you know, okay, and then it's no more internet, or, you know, but, and I think like copyright also came to protect the artist, like originally, you know, because like when the vinyl came, you know, people start buying and selling like a medium where you can hear music without musicians playing it.
Yeah.
At the beginning, like all musicians were fucked up, you know. I mean,
Yeah, the live bands.
people were like, like signing contracts, like, hey guys, come here, record this, here you have $200, and then they sold like, I don't know, 50,000 copies and made $100,000. And, the artists didn't have anything, to claim. I think this is happening with streaming now. And then the years passed and things got regulated, and, like artists were like, hey, we want a share of the thing, like everybody gets a fair share,
It's still not like that. It depends what kind of artist, but until this day, people.
I mean, assholes are everywhere, but it's supposed to be like that, and
it's supposed to be. It's nice.
And like, and at least famous artists don't get fucked up anymore, I mean, or if you got to a certain point, you don't get fucked, I mean, like if your song becomes famous and your song is registered and you have the copyright on your hand, they won't fuck you that easy. It's not, it's not that they will take it away,
Yeah, if you own everything, this is the best thing that you can do. Yeah.
So that's the thing. And then, well, we need to see how we start like regulating Spotify, and like regulating the algorithm,
What do you mean regulating the algorithm?
Well, if for example, I'm on Spotify. Are you on Spotify?
Definitely.
Well, if you would be in Spotify with Sony BMG or Universal, for example, you will get 6 times more money for click.
Because they push you a bit higher?
No, because they have the roster. These guys have like thousands of contracts from bands that don't exist anymore, It's, from Miles Davis, from the Beatles, from Pink Floyd, from, So they go to Spotify and say, hey, man, you want us to be there? You want us to bring everything, on the table? Well, we want another, a special treatment, So that's the way they handle stuff. I don't know. It's good, it's bad. I don't know. It's like that. And I had like an idea, like a innocent idea of how the algorithm should be like split.
Utopian way how it should work.
How it should be split,
All right.
You want to hear it?
Of course, man. And everyone else who's listening right now, take your notebooks, take your pencils, and write it down.
I think like when you put your $10 for Spotify, your $10 should go to the people you heard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you just heard like one song, this $10 should go to this artist. I mean, of course, you take out everything of Spotify and royalties and taxes and all the thing, But this money should go to this one click you made,
So if you only heard one song in this month,
yes,
it gets $10.
This song gets like the 100%. I mean, the 100% minus the taxes and bureaucratic stuff. Yeah. I'll take my shoes off. So that's my idea, my revolutionary idea.
You think it will work?
Well, they won't do it, of course, because they have other deals going out. But I think that could be like a good idea, because like you don't listen to everything, And it's not the same like if you have like a restaurant and, Spotify is like running all the time, like 13 hours a day.
Yeah.
And you hear like 10 times. And also, it's also like your money, so it's like more democratic, You are deciding where your money goes, You are supporting your artist,
Yeah, right now it's like that it just splits everything that Spotify gets.
They make a pot.
Yeah, and those who made the most plays, they get the most money.
Get the most money, but then there is also this thing, like people have like different treatments. It's not the same if you are like independent or if you are like on a big label. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very true. But it's like this, I think, since the human nature.
Yes.
Which is a bit sad, but still today I think we have the
labels also give like job to other people, but are this job necessary? It's like, I mean, I think like this structure, that we used to have, like, I don't know, like the TV, the TV channel, you know, or like the label or the radio station. This is appearing, you know. I mean, like now we are like, having a podcast in a living room, you know.
Yeah. It's more accessible.
It's more, yeah, accessible.
It's easier to do stuff. It's easier to be out there. And I think that's why today it's easier to be successful as a musician. Even though there is more volume, there is a lot of more noise, but then the opportunity is bigger.
Yes.
There is more chance for someone without a lot of money. You know, here in this room, I just need to treat it maybe acoustically and I can record everything I want here. And I have PC that is something that, you know, the studios could dream about it 30 or 40 years ago.
Yeah.
With my phone, I can record something that Led Zeppelin would dream about.
Yes.
You know, it's crazy with GarageBand. And everything is accessible. Then if you want to put it out there in front of people, it's also quite easy today.
Yes.
You know, if you have a little bit of money, you can just put ads. You run ads on Google, on Facebook, on YouTube. You put it in the right people in front of them.
Yeah.
And it's easier. It's easier. It's not easy. It's easier than it used to be.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, before, like I don't know, like 40 years ago, if you didn't have a label, you didn't have any chance for anything.
No chance, yeah.
I mean, yes, you could play gigs, you know, and be on the underground, you know. But if you wanted to record, to print, to distribute also, because even if you print your own, you know, CDs, cassettes, vinyls, you know, whatever, you know, you had to like bring them to the shops, you know.
Or sell them somehow.
I mean, it's not,
Yeah. There is the story of Dr. Dre, basically, that he was standing in the beach and he was selling physical albums of NWA, the first album they made or the first mixtape they made.
Yeah.
And then he made enough money just to cover everything. And then he said, now we have enough money, so we continue selling. Then we financed the next album.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. It's crazy.
Yeah, they were like some good independent people, but nowadays it's like you can do everything. And I think nowadays the people also consume that. I don't think like the young generations watch like TV anymore, you know.
Yeah, they don't watch it at all.
They wait till Tuesday to, you know, watch the new series of something, you know. They just go to Netflix or YouTube or, you know.
Yeah, TV is losing its power.
Yeah. And radio, same.
Radio, you think so? Yeah, you have Spotify, you have podcasts.
Maybe podcasts or maybe like some specific radios, you know, like I know, some guys like maybe an independent or some, you know, for example, if you are like a reggae fan, you know, so you listen to like this reggae radio, you know.
Yeah.
There are these kind of things now online, you know, for like genre radios.
But then you have it also on Spotify.
Yeah.
And it's even more dynamic than the radio because you can listen to any artist basically who is reggae.
Yeah.
And the algorithm knows what you like, what you don't like.
Yes.
Everything is becoming more customized, I think, more personalized. Because if you look at my Facebook right now, it will look completely different from your Facebook. Even the ads, the content that I watch. Now you look at my Instagram, it's completely customized to what I see there.
Yeah.
It's interesting and scary at the same time. Because we see the same world, but we don't see really the same thing.
Yes.
And there is now the new, how do you call it in English? When everyone are arming up, you know, the gear and the weapons for war, kind of, you know this? No, it's like there is this thing with war, but now it feels like technology. Everyone also are gearing up their level and trying to make even more and more crazier technologies.
Yes, well, that's
now
always
Apple,
happened that.
Yeah, Apple released this new mixed reality glasses. You know this?
Yes, I heard of them, yeah.
You know the Oculus, the Quest, the VR glasses? Did you ever use them?
I never used them.
It's really crazy. I would say it's like computers in the beginning of the 2000.
Yeah.
So that's kind of level of it, but it's even crazier because it's on your eyes and you're there in this virtual space.
Yeah.
So now Apple released those glasses, which are insane.
You try them?
No, I did not try them, but yeah, people on YouTube will try them, of course. And they said the eye tracking is so fast and so accurate. So if you put them, you can have an office that is spread all over you. You have a lot of screens. And you just look and you do with your fingers, like you tap your thumb and your finger together. Yeah. And it's like you're clicking on the mouse. So just look, tack, 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 and you click.
Oh,
with your finger.
crazy.
Yeah, so imagine you just with your eyes, you look into an icon, it recognizes where it is, you click, and then you go there.
So for everybody that would listen to podcasts in the next 10 years, please don't laugh at us.
Yeah, you're so right. You're absolutely right about it. This is so crazy about the glasses because it's not only virtual reality, it's also augmented reality.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's mixed. You can have both of them. So you can look normally in the street, and then you have another layer of digitalization on top of it. So you can look in a big building, for example, and all of a sudden you can see an artwork of an alien coming out of the building. You know, or most likely it will be some kind of commercial.
Yeah.
But it's really insane that the technology is already here and it's already out there, and the genie is out of the bottle. And now we just to see what kind of things will be
we'll see in a
developed.
few years, like, where is everything going? You know, I mean, like, now it's like you have this AI revolution and everybody's
It's
like
everything
freaking
together.
out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like everybody's like, there are like a lot of people like, we will lose our jobs. And other people are like, hey, this would be great. I don't know. I mean, like, I hope we all lose our jobs and we don't have to work anymore, you know? And we can just fucking chill out.
How would you eat afterwards? You will eat virtual food, man.
Yeah, well.
Put the glasses on and they will feed you mentally.
Oh.
Yeah. This is the highway to the Matrix. If we're not in a Matrix already.
Yes, who knows?
Yeah, but you don't seem to be so worried about all this revolution that is happening.
Are you?
No, I'm just embracing it. There is no other way.
There is no other way. I think, like,
It's
yes.
here.
I mean, like, yes. Who knows? Everything changed so fast and. But well, it was like I don't know. I remember like 20 years ago. Yeah, the internet, blah blah. And yeah, then it came and stayed, and you know, with the phones were the same. And like, I don't know. It's not that. I mean, things changed a lot. But yeah, we're still here. I know.
Yeah, we're still here. Things changed a lot, that's for sure. Just the fact that we cannot leave our houses without our smartphones.
Yes, but I also think, like, you know, like, I don't know, like 30, 40 years ago, like when there were like no smartphones and where there was no internet, and the world was still working, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, Mercedes-Benz was still making cars and exporting them to, I don't know, I'm just saying like an example, you know, or people were still going to work and like, yeah.
People were living.
Friends were like meeting and getting drunk together. I know. I mean, like, yeah. It's not that they were living on a cave, you know, like uka uka, you know, like.
I think every once in a while, and I think the more we do that, the faster it comes. But every period of time, there is some kind of technological leap that we discover something, and then we just go to the next level.
Yeah.
So imagine that you had all the ancient people who discovered fire, and then you had the group who did not discover fire. You know, this group might say, "Oh, fuck fire! We don't believe in fire.
Yeah.
It destroys blah 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 blah." You know, and then those people who actually took the fire and embraced it, they became stronger. They were able to digest meat because they could cook it, or could digest even other food because they would cook it. So they got stronger, they got smarter, more efficient. And probably they are the one who developed more than those who refused to use the fire.
Yes.
And I think maybe AI is kind of the equivalent to fire in our day.
Yeah, AI for me, it's a game changer. I mean, like.
Are you using it?
I'm using it for some. I use it like an intern for content content creator. You know, like when I have to write like a press text. You know, I have to write like a good text. I like write the text first, and I give it to AI to like you know, correct it and make it better. I think if you work together with it, it works really good. If you say like write a text about me, it will be something like super generic and, you know, like boring and cliche, you know, which, yeah. But if you are like working with it like an intern, you know, like I'm making this and that, and you know what do you think, and then you go back and forth, you get like good results, you know, and good you save a lot of time, you know.
You save a lot of brain power also.
Yeah, still the brain power and research things. You know, it's like I see it like what I'm using is ChatGPT. You know, there are a lot of types of AI. Like every day there are like coming new things, and yes, you know, I develop things together. You know, like I made like a meditation album that's also like another like side project I have. And I worked a lot like how to promote it, you know, and how it would be the marketing and what kind of people, you know, will be more interested in it, you know, like, and it saved me like a lot of time, you know, and a lot of
Yeah. Sometimes it also can bring the idea that inspire the action
Yes.
to do something.
I mean, I think the AI is like you have to use it in a clever way. It's a tool, you know what I mean? It's
Yes,
like,
definitely.
you know, it's not that it's taking something from you, it's giving you something, you know, and it's also really funny how you see like most of the people that criticize it are people that don't use it.
Yeah, the people who are mediocre usually, and they're not people who are willing to take the extra step to achieve what they want.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, you could get by just working and doing your work.
Yeah.
But today, if you're just doing your work, it's not enough because I have some machine that does your work.
Yeah.
And I don't need you. I don't need to pay you all this money as just doing your job. So either you become better and you can provide more value, or I just replace you with AI that costs a fraction of what I need to pay a real person.
Yeah.
And those who complain about it, those are the same people who will never use AI. They will never think a bit more of, I need to put extra time, extra effort to know how to use it.
Yeah. I mean, it's also, I mean, really easy. You just need to use it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's easy like playing a piano. You know, you don't know, but you start.
Yes.
And then you'll know slowly
But
and more and
I mean,
more.
if you think about it, piano is also a machine to make music.
Yeah, it's a tool.
It's a tool, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that, okay, now you won't sing anymore because you play the notes through a machine, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I use AI a lot with the visuals, with the image generation. The Mid Journey, you know this one?
No.
It's I think it's the biggest text to image
Okay.
kind of
Ah,
company.
yes. I saw some. I know how they were called. They were like quite crazy because sometimes it's like a dream what they like
Some of them are
draw.
insane.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
I think there are big. The three that are really big, you have the AI, the Open AI, which it's called DAL-E. This is a big one. Then you have also Mid Journey, which is the most artistic in my opinion.
Yeah.
Then you have another one, Stable Diffusion, which it's more for programmers. If you know how to program a bit, you can get by. And it's also way more accurate. You can get really accurate results there if you know how to use it.
Okay.
And then also now Photoshop, they started this AI. So basically what you do in Photoshop, you just mark this area that you want. And you write text of whatever you want it to appear, and it just appears. I can take your shirt in Photoshop and I can change it to a different shirt. I can make you wear like a flamenco costume.
Yeah.
It's really crazy what's going on today.
For the people that don't know, I'm wearing a zebra costume right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I checked the text ones, like this one. And then I checked some music ones, which is like, wow, you know, I mean,
You messed
like,
around with them a bit?
yes, they're still not that good, but they will be. I mean, it's a matter of time.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a matter of time till they get really good. Yeah,
Half a year, 1 year maximum.
yeah, maybe 5, but 5 years is also tomorrow.
5 years you will have it.
Yeah.
Wow. In 5 years, I think technology will be so insane
Yeah,
that iPhone will look like the most analog thing
yeah.
there is. It will look like those dial phones that you have to rotate the numbers.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm really like it was also like for me like the Corona thing was very interesting because it's like if you talk like 6 months before to anyone, like and you say, hey, you know, it was like the last thing anyone was expecting, you know, like
To have a lockdown.
yeah. Everything like to have like this crazy thing and the people with the mask and they cannot travel anymore. So like if they would have tell us like, hey, there would be a war and we would all die, we would have said like, oh yeah, okay. Or like it would be an economic crash or like, ah, okay. Or like they would invent a machine that we can fly, ah, okay. But I think what was so amazing, it happened something super unexpected,
Yeah.
Like, it was unexpected. It was really like, what the fuck is going on,
It happened overnight.
Yeah.
I remember this.
So I don't know how it will be in 5 years, that's what I wanted to tell, like, yeah.
Yeah, there's good stuff and there's scary stuff. So
Yes.
we don't really know. But I think in the end, people thinking as well about AI, they're scared that AI will become a robot. And,
Well, it is. I mean,
it will become like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the end, not Schwarzenegger, the other one, Skynet. So Schwarzenegger will be the one to save you.
yeah.
But I think it's not the case. I think if it's really intelligent, so it will not want to fight. It will not want to kill. It will just live alone, us monkey people, and it will go in the other way.
It would help us primates to get what we want. Yeah, let's see.
Maybe it will leave us alone, Imagine us. We don't go to amoebas and we just start to kill them because we are stronger than amoebas.
Well, we do.
Do we?
Yeah.
You do intentionally? You go for amoebas? And
I know for amoebas, but we are all the time killing everything that it's around us, from plants to bacteria to animals to, I know.
Yeah. But you don't do it in an evil way. I mean, it's kind of survival, I would say, more than evil. Because, either it's the farmers who want to make more money, so they make the production cheaper, or either it's you just want to eat.
Yeah.
But it's not evil.
Let's see.
I think so.
Yeah.
But also, artificial intelligence, there is no needs for artificial intelligence. It doesn't need to eat or to produce or some emotions that might take over, It will not get sad all of a sudden.
I know. It's a very interesting thing. It's a very interesting thing. It's also like, that's why art is so important. A lot of people is like, oh, why art is important? Art is important because there's always first, like, there's the thought, like someone thought about this, someone wrote Terminator, now we're talking about Terminator, and the machines, and then someone did it, like first some guy wrote like, hey, let's go to the moon, and then someone like thought about it and started to gathering it together, so yeah, we artists know the future.
Yeah, I also think differently about art now. As I told you, this Mid-Journey thing, I start to generate a lot of art with Mid-Journey. And so you saw Son of a Pigeon and how it looks like with the hair and all the golden stuff. And now on the Instagram, I start to have a lot of photos of Son of a Pigeon in different versions. And all of them is AI generated.
Oh, nice.
And it's crazy. I just have like half an hour session and I can generate 50 photos that are usable. And they look insane. But if I would actually make them myself, it will take me weeks to generate them.
Yes.
So then art is a bit different because it's not me practicing the movement of the pencil or the technique to make it look perfect.
Yeah, but art is art. I mean, it's like with music also, it's like, that is how it sounds, not how you did it, like a lot of people have this romanticization, of like technique, like, oh, you have to learn with the pencil, go with the Zen master, in the mountains and stay there 24 years eating rice and mastering the pencil thing. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. And
you can do that.
It's okay. But it's not just that. It's not only that. It's not, if you don't do that, you are not a real artist, or,
How would you define an artist?
Poor.
Or what would you define as art?
Only art can be art. It has to have an intention of being art.
You think so?
Yes. It's not an accident, If not, it's an accident, or it's like or it's something beautiful. But art is someone that made it possible,
Anything can be art?
No, only art can be art. That's my opinion.
Well,
I might
art?
be wrong, I mean, like, yeah.
Art is a painting?
Well, if someone like, yeah.
All right.
But you know what I mean? There is like someone that say, okay, this is going to be art. And then it's art.
I know a lot of people who say this is going to be art and it's completely crap.
No, it could be crappy art. It can be shitty art. That's another story.
But it's still art.
But it's still art. It's shit art. It's like a bad art, but it's still art. But if if an accident happened and there was a white wall and something like splashed there and it looks great, that's beautiful. That's like maybe amazing. That's maybe way better than a lot of artists can do.
Yeah.
But it's not art. It's an accident that happened in the wall. You know what I mean?
All right.
For me, this is like my opinion.
I think that the fine line between accident and art is so thin.
No, well,
sometimes it's really crossover.
No, I mean, like an artist can be making something and make an accident and make it art. You know what I mean? That's another story. But yes, it's like, people I mean, this is a personal opinion, no? But, people sometimes it's like, they watch a mountain and, it's like, oh, it's art. No, it's nature that somehow is in what art is also based, But, yeah. I think art has like has an intention, has someone behind it that wants to make something. And then, as we said before, it could be fantastic art or like crappy art.
What is the intention? It's like the intention of, I want to make something that...
Yeah, I want to make a picture, I want to make a song, or I want to make like, I want to act, or I want to,
I want to create something.
Yes.
Yeah, but the creative is something that you think everyone have, or is it something that...
Well, creative is also for me, creative, and it's not also for me, this is creativeness, it's not art. There are two separate things also, I mean, you could be like, like someone like a gardener and be a creative gardener, You can, I mean, like everybody is creative, and they is something to develop, I mean, like you can, in any job, you can be creative, but doesn't necessarily need to be arts, I mean, and also there are like some artists that I don't find them very creative, they just follow a technique. And yeah.
Would you refine artists as more as a profession?
Yeah, I mean, like there are artists that they just, like, I don't know, like they can, let's give a random example, like they can draw like super good, So yeah, then they copy something in a perfect technique, but that's not very creative. I mean, that's very good made, that's very fantastic technique, Creative is something different, and I think creative is like in every job. You don't need to be an artist, to be creative, So,
yeah, it's something spontaneous that is happening, and we just step into that.
Creative. You can be creative like when you're cleaning your house, like, okay, I put this, this guitar case, in this place, and then you discover like a perfect place for the guitar place.
Yeah,
because we're being creative, like, yeah.
If you need to make a decision, probably you're a creative person, because you make the decision based on something creative. It's interesting. Usually there is a separation between art and business. There are like two things that are quite opposite for one another, which I don't think is true, but this is how it's been the perception of it.
Yeah.
And lately, in the last year, I've been spending a lot of time with business people, with entrepreneurs, with people who are far away from the creative process as we think of as an artist creative. But then I realized that the really good ones, they are artists, but in business.
Yeah, like creative people, or what do you mean? Yeah,
the artists, the way they are doing the business, the way they are setting up the business, the way they make the model of the business, the way they integrate parts in it.
Yeah,
it's like art.
Yes, yes.
It's like a beautiful painting, but instead of being on canvas, then it's being executed on people and the way money is working and the way that company are working.
Sure, I mean, I always laugh, when like, I remember one time in Buenos Aires, there was like an art exhibition. This was like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. And then there was this guy selling, an empty package of cigarettes that was like crashed, and it was like on the floor, and some kind of wind moved it around a little bit, And he sold this in $200,000, and a lot of people were like, oh my God, what a piece of shit! Who the fuck? I was like, dude, this guy is a fucking genius, You know,
You understand why someone will pay $200,000?
I mean, you sold that for $200,000.
He's a
like,
genius, yeah.
It's a genius. I mean, like, man, come on. I mean, he's my idol. You know, I mean, if you can like achieve that, you know, if there's like this kind of like, okay, I don't want to offend anyone, but like this Christian shit, you know, like this. I don't know, this like moral thing, you know, that if you're an artist, you should be poor, you know, you should just made it for the love of, you know, of art, you know.
Yes.
No, man, no, you know, I know.
I think it's something with money in general. It's not just artists. Even though
Yes.
artists suffer the most with that.
Yeah, but a lot of people think like money, you know, like I know, like we need money. I mean, I want to pay my rent, you know, I want to eat, I want to, you know, drink a beer, you know. I mean, like
It's even beyond that. I want to have more money
Yeah.
so I can make better experience when I'm playing music, you know,
Yeah.
when I'm having podcast and I invite people.
yeah,
I want to be able to spread out the artists that I invite to the podcast. So
Yeah.
if I make more money, then I can put it back to the people.
yeah.
And yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people are scared to ask for money. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this a whole society thing that I don't understand really, but I think it has to do with this some Christians thing in our Western society, you know, some, you know. So I don't know, like some romanticization, you know, of art, you know, like the artist should just take care of his or her work, you know, and like.
And they sell, and the people stand in the line to
Yes,
buy their art.
But
or
someone
stand in
else should
line for
take
the
care of
concert.
that, you know, and it's like, you know, I don't know. It's difficult because, you know, it's also like as a musician, you know, and you always confront with that, you know, like you go, hey, what do you do? I'm a musician. Oh, can you live from that? I don't know. I don't ask that question when someone tells me like, I'm a doctor, or, you know, I'm a bus driver, or you know, I'm an engineer or whatever, you know. I have a restaurant, you know. I don't go and say, oh, you have a restaurant? Yeah. Oh, can you live from that? But somehow when you say you are an artist, the people look at you strange, you know. These like, I don't know. It's just a very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's controversial
Yeah.
kind of profession to have.
Yes.
Because you're kind of entrepreneur without really knowing that as an artist.
Yes.
No one will hire you as in the artist that you are. They can hire you as a session player, maybe.
No, well, they also hire you as an artist. I mean, like, I know, like.
You need to prove yourself
Yes.
to be as a good artist. You
Yeah.
know, if you just start to brand yourself right now, and let's say you're a local artist and you don't have so much concerts, you cannot go to a hotel and accept them to hire you as full-time musician there.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to make your name, and then it's a different route as well. I mean, it depends for the artist, I think, and what kind of way they want to take it. But it's definitely possible. It's very possible to make some money out of it.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
How do you think about the money? How do you take care of it?
I work for it, you know. I mean, like, the system.
It's not constant. That's one of the things that can be
It's not
problematic.
constant, and you have to think about it, you know. But you have to like develop your tools and be also open, you know. I mean, like, I also like played a lot of concerts that they were not my favorites, or I'm not proud of them, you know. Like, yeah, or I wrote music for stuff that was like, you know, it was
for
not
the money.
Mozart, you know. But well, you know, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. There's a lot of proudness. There's a lot of like a lot of fantasy around being an artist. You know, like a lot of people have this concept, like, you know, yeah, you just make a few songs, comes someone and gives you $1 million, and then you are rich and famous. You know, and it's like, well, it's a little bit more complex than that, and that only happened to certain people. But there are like a lot of people in between, you know, that they're like living their life, you know, and having their jobs, and, you know, and yeah. But it's funny because like sometimes I see some other musicians, you know, that they do that on the side, and they come to me and they're like, oh man, you play everywhere. How do you do that? I send 2 million emails. I get the phone, start calling everyone. Like it's not that that things happened because you are the best in the world, or because it was a chance, so you were lucky. I mean, yeah, there are people that they're lucky, but yeah, most of the people that get somewhere is because they work for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think luck is not something that really exists. I think it's an excuse for lazy people to confirm their laziness. So they say that, oh, you're just lucky.
Yeah.
Because for me, if I'm lazy and you're lucky, then it means no matter what I do, I might get lucky or I might not get lucky.
Yeah.
But they don't see the hard work that is happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, but actually, I know a lot of musicians that they live from music. I mean, I have a lot of friends that a lot of them teach, for example. A lot of them write music for some. A lot of them play in bands which are more famous, or make session works, or they make project with other kinds of artists like theater musicians, or they play in cruise ships, or they're like thousands of jobs that in music that is not just like standing in a stage and having 10,000 people screaming your name. That's just like, I don't know if to call them lucky, but that's just one kind of job in music.
Yeah, it's a very small percentage.
Yes.
And also this, to be on stage in front of so many people, there is also a price to that.
Yes, I mean it has to be your life. I mean like I don't know. You have to be up for it, and to tour and everything, and then it's a very complex thing. It's not just like people tend to simplify what they don't know, and it's like also like people see you on the stage, and they say, okay, you worked 1 hour and a half or 2 hours. No, this is just like 10% of my job,
Yeah, exactly.
I made the bookings, I made the songs, I all the social media and stuff, like taxes, I don't know, like royalties, and filling up papers and organizing rehearsals and 2 million things I'm forgetting about right now. And going to the place, sometimes, okay, yeah, you have a gig in another city and you have to get the car, put everything there, travel there, like build up the stage, have the concert, then, like put everything down, make like networking. And so, you spend like the whole day, we spend maybe like 12 hours in the whole process,
Yeah.
And it's not just these 2 hours that you play, I mean, like, and then it's like, yeah, well, you were just driving. Yeah, okay, but then we shouldn't pay a taxi driver or a bus driver, or like, it's like, yeah, there are like a lot of things like that completed the job, And yes, probably the Rolling Stones don't drive, someone takes them in a helicopter. Okay, but that's like, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like, that's like talking about the owner of McDonald's and like some little guy that sells burgers on the corner, It's like, or, I mean, the guy that sells burgers, in a restaurant, he pays his living. Yeah. And he drives to get to his job, Another guy, flies in a helicopter with bodyguards. But that happens like in every job in the world, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, this romanticism of being on stage and just playing the music and everyone will take care of everything. It's such a nice
great.
idea.
It's a great idea.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the good life. And you get your money, you get a lot of money because you performed in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you're just happy, as it seems. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also like a company. I mean, like when you see these bands, you just see like one face or a few faces. It depends of if it's a band or a solo player. But behind of these people, there are like a lot of people working,
Yeah, you have the sound man, you have the light man, you have the stage people. It depends how big the project is. There are the booking people, there are the PR people.
People making customs, people like hairdressers in some cases, like press people, tour managers.
Yeah, so many people involved in this project. It's like Britney Spears, "Hit Me Baby One More Time," right? You hear this song, all of a sudden you think about this slutty 17 years old girl from the USA.
Yeah.
And you identify the song with her. But truth is, she had nothing to do with the song but recording her vocals. And also, I don't think she had so much artistic decision in the way her vocals were created and recorded. So she's just an instrument that was used for the process of creating this music.
Yeah.
But somehow all the attention also went directly to Britney Spears.
Well, because that's also what it needs to happen,
Yeah, yeah.
It's also, we come back to the burger example. When you go and ask for a burger somewhere, it's like, you think of the food, you don't think if, like the waiter, is, if the owner pays the social insurance of the waiter and the tax deduction and the guy that came and repaired like the kitchen earlier, so, yes.
It's a very complex world.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I have fun,
It's interesting. Yeah,
it's interesting.
It keeps it quite interesting.
But the thing is, like, and I also find cool that being a musician is every time, because of the technology, because of the world that changed it. It's not that special anymore. It used to be like that, like 100 years ago.
To be a musician.
Yeah, the guys were like on the weekends, they were playing like in some cultures it's still like that. They were playing like on weddings, or if someone was born, or if someone died, or if some politician made song and the guys were there, and if not, they were like on the bar, every night playing,
Yeah, kind of a lifestyle.
Yeah, making like their contribution to society, like every job does, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still like that. If you make service to the people, probably you will make more money than the rest of the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, also with music. What do you think is the thing that is slowing musicians today?
I think this romanticizing things, I think like I see like a lot of people like play music, but it has to be like this and like that, and like, and they only want to play this and that and in these conditions, and no one wants to like make it a job, which you don't have to. You can be like a musician and have fun with your friends, which is totally acceptable and completely normal. And you can be a great musician and be like that. You can be like an excellent musician, but if you really want to like make it a job and make the money and pay the rent out of it, you have to like push it and make it a business.
Yeah, that's where people failing.
And then you have to make things that not just the nice things,
Well, what is not the nice things?
Well, I don't know, like
killing people.
No, not killing people. But like being on the phone 3 hours, like talking to bars and places to play, it's not something when you fantasize about music.
Yeah, you don't think about it. You think about learning some covers, recording originals, and that's it.
Yeah. Or like paying taxes or making bills, or like, sending emails, there are like thousands of things, or writing music when you have to write music, or like writing music for something you don't want to write music, or some kind of music you are not, it's not your favorite music, or like in every job, you have to make things that they're not like, wow, this was my dream to do, So I think it's just that. It's not impossible to make money out of music.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's also about reverse engineering. Like how much do you need a month? And then let's say you need 2,000 euros a month. And then you think, all right, how many gigs I can do in order for me to receive those 2,000?
Yeah.
And then this is how much you price yourself. If you say I can have 4 gigs a month, so you can get gigs for 500.
Yeah.
And all right, so who pays 500 now? Is it companies? Is it weddings?
For example, that's a perfect way of thinking it.
Yeah. And if you want to have 1 gig, then you can ask yourself, who would pay me 2,000 euros?
Yeah.
for a gig and then go there and ask for gigs.
Yeah.
And it's all game of numbers. If you have 10 companies,
Yeah, and then going for it.
yeah, just go to all those 10 companies,
Yeah.
ask them, find even more companies.
Yeah, and then you will find yourself that, okay, yeah, rehearsing, playing music, and like the nice thing is just a part of it. It's not just everything, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How do you approach your own music project? You have an album that you released this year.
Yes, I have like my baby, you know,
Yeah.
like my solo
It's
project.
called Cisco Pema.
Yes, and that's like my artistic name. And for me, it started like it was something I always wanted to do because I was always a sideman as a bass player, you know. And I was always a composer. Like since I'm a child, it's like I always like made songs and make like, you know, this is something like something natural in me. And at some point when you're a bass player, it happened to me a couple of times that I was playing like in bands that were doing really good, and then something happened to the band and you don't have a job anymore, you know, because who cares who the bass player was?
Yeah, usually it's like that.
Maybe if you play with like a super famous band, okay, you know, but even that, you know, I mean, like, yeah. So I just wanted like to unify everything that I have, and so I did this project where I play, I write the songs, I sing too. Like I had I really had to make to catch up with my voice, you know, which was something I was not using that much or that professionally. You know, maybe I was making some backing vocals in some bands, but it's very different than to stand on the front, to talk to the people, to sing a whole concert, you know, keep the tension, sing good, you know, tune. It's like, yeah, the voice is a very bitchy instrument. You know?
It's a complex instrument.
Yeah, but also
there are no frets in the voice, so to begin with, it's not easy to hit the right pitch.
No, but it also happened to me when, you know, as a bass player, like I tour with bands, you know, and then it was like, you know, hey, you know, there was a gig and we drink too much, you know, and the next gig I was with hangover and, you know, I get the bass and I play. If you are in a hangover and you have to sing 1 hour and a half,
yeah, man,
the voice might tell you like, no, we're not doing this today.
Yeah, no smoking,
you know,
no eating some stuff that might get you irritated in the stomach.
Yeah. So I had to learn all that, and it was a good experience. I also had to learn like everything we talked before. You know, a lot of parts of the business I was not aware of. You know, because it's not the same to be a sideman. You know, it's like you tell me what songs should I learn, how should I dress, and when are the rehearsals and where are the gigs, you know. But when it's your project, you have to make everything. And yes, I had to learn a lot of things, you know. I had to learn booking, I had to learn marketing, I had to learn like that made me a man.
The rite of passage.
No, but you know what I mean. So I have to be aware of a lot of things that I'm doing. But well, this is my project, so it every time gives me more independence, you know. And I also learned to be flexible. You know, that also happened with that I started playing guitar because I was asked to play in a festival. You know, they called me after my first album and was like, hey man, can you play your songs? This is a singer-songwriting festival that was happening in Formentera in Spain. And they were like, hey, we love your music. Would you like to, can you play your songs with the guitar? Like, and I was like, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, sure I can, you know. And then I had like to learn better guitar, like to pull it together, you know. And since then I started playing like a lot of concerts alone. So I doubled or tripled the amount of concerts I started playing with the project because, yeah, a lot of people cannot pay so much money, so I play alone, or a lot of people, you know, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are playing alone today, I think, because it's more
cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper and you get more money in the end.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like that, you know, it's the reality. I mean, I love playing with band. I have my gigs with the band, but well, the band costs other money and not a lot of people can pay that. And the band needs to have transport and the band needs more places to sleep, more places to eat. You know, you need a proper sound technician and everything. You know, like playing along with the guitar, you can more or less manage to make the sound yourself. Or, you know, if the stage is not that big, you know, yeah. You also need to rehearse, you know, when you have like more people, it's like you coordinate with the people, you know, and yeah.
I think if you have a band, it's better just to do a big tour if you can somehow manage it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a money thing, you know.
Yeah, I think it's more plans, how you plan stuff. It's if you plan stuff correctly, then the money can come, or at least you will not lose as much as money as you put there. If you prepare really good, you made already half of the work. You're more likely to succeed when you plan stuff and you actually follow plan. Even though the plan might fail, you have better chances to succeed when you follow this plan.
Yes.
I think I did this planning once. I like to do it once in a while when I have an idea for a business, how much money it can generate. Then I start to put the numbers. And I'm thinking how much it cost me, how much... Then I make like 3 plans. One of them will be the most epic one. That if I have infinite amount of money, how much, what will I do and where the money will go to? I make one that if I would use the very minimum amount of money, so how much would it be and what will it get me?
That's a very good way of saying, yeah.
And then you can also put something in the middle. You know, and if you plan those 3 plans for one business, you can see a big overview about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with music. So with music, if you take like 50,000 euros, you can really make a big tour. How much was it? I think it was 8 people for the crew. So band.
It's a big crew, yeah.
Yeah, with photographer, someone for the merchandises, soundman, maybe also someone with the lights. So let's say maybe 10 people crew. They don't pay for transport, they don't pay for living, only they will need to pay for their own food. Each of them will get 2,000 euro a month. I think it will be like between 20 and 25 dates a month. And all I need to do to bring the money back is to bring either 150 or 200 people for each concert. And also from this 50,000 there was also money for promotions.
Yeah,
and it's not a lot to bring.
You have to work.
50, 200.
You have to work, and you have to be patient also. I mean, like.
This is without even selling merchandise. If you sell merchandise, you can make even more money. You can get even easier and not lose money. Yeah, but if you make one tour like that, and you do it really well, you bring good players, and you capture everything. You capture the video, you capture audio, you capture photos, you sell stuff, you leave your mark in those places. Then when you come next year, you will have more fans.
It's a plan, you know. It's like, it's a growth plan. It's where you're standing, where you want to be, how much time can it take, how much money can you invest, you know, and how much money can you work on it? How much time can you work on it, you know?
Yeah, it's also about risks, because I think a lot of people can get 50,000 euros. It's not something that it's out of the blue to get this amount of money. It might maybe sound a lot, but in fact, it's really easy to get this amount of money.
Yeah, but you have to work afterwards, no? I mean,
you must work,
you must work hard, you know, and like get everything together and be on the phone and on the computer the whole day, you know, organizing. And when you do this, or someone has to do it. I mean, you can also like pay someone to do that, you know.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
But
money. Money and touring and
money makes money, you know.
You can lose money. I think a mindset makes money, not money. You can have a lot of money and lose it. Yeah. And how did you record the album? Is it all made by you? All the
No. The album was.
How does it called again? The album?
The last album is called Tres de Oro.
Yes.
Tres de Oro, and it's.
What does it mean in English?
It's 3 of gold. That is like you know, in the
gold.
Yes. Like you know, like the French card deck is the one you should play poker with.
I don't know the difference.
The cards, you know, the cards.
But what's the difference between French and
Spanish ones?
Yeah.
Well, the French one, the Spanish ones, is like the French. You have like hearts and diamonds, you know, and the Spanish ones you have like basto, copas y oro, is golds. They're like, and that's a card. There's 3 of gold.
It's not so common, the Spanish one, right?
No, it's not so common. I mean,
So the French one is the most common.
The French one is the most common, yeah.
So
The
if I
Germans
buy
also,
just cards, it's the French mostly.
yes, like the poker cards, let's say, is the French ones,
I
yeah.
did not knew you have different cards.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is basically the same principle, you know. There are like four kind of like colors or whatever you want to call them, and then there are like 12 numbers, I think, or 13, I mean, 12, I think, at least in the Spanish one. And this is like the card. The card is like the 3 of gold, yeah.
And there is meaning of it?
And yes, there's like a meaning. There's like a concept. I finished like making this 3/4 song, which I played it before, and that's the name of the song. It's also the name of the album. And I thought like I liked it so much at the time, you know, when you finish the song, you're like fascinated.
It's the best one, yeah.
And it's like a 3. It was like a 3/4, you know. I was like, okay, 3 of gold, and then it, you know, it fits with the card also, and yes, and that's something also very like Argentinian, so it has a lot of symbolism, you know. But back to your question, yes, this was produced by a Munich producer, and I paid him with royalties.
How much did you offer him, if you want to reveal?
Nah, that I won't say, but you know, like
percentage of the ownership.
Exactly, you know, like money is not just the only currency that we got. You know?
I agree.
So we said like, okay, you know, and he said like, okay, you got this, you know, this percentage, which is less than the 30, let's say. I would put it like that. You can make different deals, you know. I don't want to like, you know, everybody makes their own deals, and I don't think it's bad or good. I just made another one because I don't want also to say the number, because he also worked with other artists and he might have other deals. You know, we're friends, so my deal was good, you know. And he was in charge of like to pay the studio and to produced all the recordings and the masterings and the mixing and everything. We went to Munich in a beautiful studio, and I paid from my pocket the musicians. There were 2 musicians.
What do you play there? Which instruments?
I play the bass and I sing. Then I call the guitar player. He's fantastic, and a percussion player. And I pay them $200 a day. So it were 3 days recording the whole album. So yeah, each one got 600 euros.
Not bad. And how was the process of recording it? You had the demos before?
No, I just showed them a song. Like I went with each of them separated, because one lives in Austria and the other one lives in Munich, and I passed the songs to them, you know, and yeah, and then we joined the studio. They are great musicians, you know. It was like more like a jazz concept, you know. And it was like, okay, these are the songs that okay, let's see, like, yeah, you know, we arranged them like together, like really fast, and we make like 4 versions of each song, and then we choose the best.
It's all recorded live.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. There are like some little corrections here and there because we were like in separated rooms, but everything is live, you know, like, yeah.
It sounds very live. The sound is also very good.
Yeah, and then the percussion player made in some songs some overdubs, like little things, you know. But the guitar player didn't make any overdub. And then I came another day and I sing all the songs, and also like I make a little backing, you know, like super discreet, like in 1 or 2 songs that they were needed a little bit more power on the voice, and that's it. It was like a very fresh album, yeah.
Very fast.
Yeah.
Just go record, get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very
And
cool.
there is no printing, you know. This time it was like, I'm not going to pay any CD press, vinyl shit, you know, I mean, no.
How else do you sell it? You have it on Spotify, which doesn't pay so much.
Yeah.
You have other places that you sell it on?
No.
Like Bandcamp?
No. I think it's in Bandcamp. I think it's in Bandcamp too. I know, but yes, I see like nowadays like albums are not like something you make money off. You know, it's like
It's not sure. It depends how you approach it. If you sell it mostly in Bandcamp and you have the core fans that will
Yeah.
support you, I think if you sell like 200 copies and you sell it for $10, it's like you made 1 million streams, right?
Yeah.
So the numbers are way smaller and you get more support.
Yeah, but not everybody's on Bandcamp, you know. I know it's like yeah, what I see that royalties come is when the music is not sold, but used in like publicities or movies. That's also a way of getting good money on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How do you manage the royalties? You have, are you in Gamma, right?
I'm in the Austrian game. It's called AKM, but it's the same principle.
Yeah.
And yes, like every time like I have a concert, I write all the songs I played. I also get a lot of credit for all the songs I made for publicities and films.
How much of the royalties you think is getting lost that you don't receive the money for it?
It's so bureaucratic, the thing, you know. I'm like, sometimes I'm like super like, yeah, I send some hate emails sometimes to them.
Yeah, I believe there are many royalties that are being used out there and you're not getting paid as an artist for your own art.
Yes, yeah, but it's like impossible to control like nowadays, you know. I mean,
how? It's digital. I refuse to believe it's impossible. There is something, it's called sound exchange.
Yeah,
I don't know how much they do the work, but they're saying that they really find
that's another thing
but
that's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing, you know, we have to be talking about, you know. Like before we talk about Spotify and how Spotify should be like more credit to the artist, you know. It cannot be like if a song of you is played like on a TV show, you get like, just giving a stupid example, 10 euros, let's say. Now, if the song of you is played like online, you get like 10 cents, you know, and it's like, why, you know, like the royalties that are paying in YouTube or like even Netflix, it's way more down, you know, like.
Yeah. If your music has been featured.
I mean, I get royalties from Spotify too, you know, but it's like, yeah, 11 cents. Oh, great, you know, like.
Yeah, how much they pay? They pay 0.04 cents for stream.
No, but I'm not talking about the plays. I'm talking about the Gamma from the play.
Oh, it gets cents from Gamma?
Yes.
It's every quarter, no?
Yes. You get, Spotify pays Gamma too.
So you get also from Spotify and
yes,
also get from Gamma.
But it's like nothing, you know. So yeah, it's a long thing. But yes, like if you play a lot of gigs, you write your songs and they come, you know. It's like the money comes. Yeah, there are places where you might not get it, or you know, but it comes. The money comes. It works. Fortunately, here in Europe in Austria and in Germany is quite good. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked with them. Somehow I registered myself to BMI, the American one. I did it by accident.
Okay.
And I cannot get rid of them.
Ah, yeah, because of the CD Baby or what?
This sound exchange, this service.
Yeah, I'm also in BMI, but you have to be in one if you're like commercializing in America and some things in the States, you need to be in BMI or the other one. I don't know how it's called.
But if I'm in BMI, I cannot be registered in Gamma.
Yeah, you can.
I need to have some kind of letter from them. So they...
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they allow me to be underneath Gamma in Europe.
I don't know. It's a very, very bureaucratic things. They're like some experts on the subject. You really
need lawyers for this.
Sometimes it's like...
Wow. It's not moving sometimes because they're not generating any... It's not non-profit organizations.
Yeah.
So they don't really care about growth.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're so inefficient in their work.
Yeah, and then you have the mechanical, the interpret rights, you know.
What is it?
That's like for people that interpret, and I don't know how to say it in English. Like here in German, it's called GVL.
All right, yeah, GVL, I know.
And it's like the people that you know, if you played, it's not your song, but you played on the record, you know.
Ah, okay.
Then you get also money, you know. I mean, way more or less than.
If someone covers my song, then I get from writing the song, right?
No, that's the composer's right. That's Kema.
Okay.
This is something else. This is like you wrote a song, but someone played it. So this version of the song, which was recorded, makes money because also the people that played it are good. So these people get some money from these rights.
Okay, but it's not the same master. It's different recording.
No, you get money from the master. It's from this recording.
You wrote now a song, and someone
I wrote
else...
a song. You played the guitar on this song. It's not
Okay.
your song. It's my song. You don't have.
I
any...
cover it.
Yeah, you play with. Yeah, you cover it, for example, or you play on my album. You play the guitar. You know. Well, this recording of you playing the guitar, if it gets on the radios or like on these official places, you get some money
As a guitarist.
as
playing
a
on the
guitar
record.
player. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not knew that.
Yes. Actors get a lot of money with that here in Germany.
GVL.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between GEMA and GVL if you're
Because
a guitarist?
there are kind of rights. It's like one is the rights of composing and another one is the right of interpret.
The performance.
The performance, exactly. Because it's also like a logic, you know, if your song, if Hit Me Baby one more time becomes like famous, it's also because it's like good produced, you know.
Yeah.
Because the sounds are good, because it's good synced, because you know what I mean? It's not just the song itself, you know. It's not just the composition. I mean, people listen to the end results on the radio or on the TV. And most of the hits is like played by really good musicians. And these guys, it's a way of these guys getting also credit, you know.
I thought it's something that you said in the beginning of the project, how much you want to get, you know, either you get paid or either you get royalties.
No, I mean, it's your right to get that. No, this royalties, this is something different. Like, yeah.
It's so complex, huh?
It's complex. It's
So
like, yeah.
If I made, let's say, a deal with you, I play guitar on your album.
Yes.
And then I get 20% from the royalties.
Okay, that's different.
And then GVL pays me something else.
Yes. GVL pays you for playing the guitar.
But for who? From where? How much? Because it needs to become...
No, because if this song is played, you know, on TV, the
TV pays for it.
pays GVL.
Yeah, the TV pays for it.
The TV pays, the TV channel, let's say an example, pays GEMA and pays GVL. They pay these two different guys.
Damn, what else there is that pays for artists?
I don't know.
Why it's separated? I don't understand this.
Yeah, it's very complex. It's very like bureaucratic. It's also like this cross things between countries, you know, and deals, you know.
Yeah.
Like this shit. Okay, the States, you have to be in a royalty thing, so you have to be in BMI, but you can be here also in Europe in another one, and it's like, yeah, it's a very bureaucratic thing, you know.
It's a conspiracy to confuse us.
Yeah, I don't know, but a lot of this royalties association, they're like super outdated, you know.
Yeah, I think so as
and
well.
super behind what's going on, you know. And it's like, so then that's why you're also like, as an artist, you're always like fighting with them. And it's like, things are like very complex. They're also good because they help. I mean, we get money from them. So, you know, if they wouldn't be there, this money would be lost, you know. And yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you have to be there. It's like, it's not an easy thing. It's not like, you know, beep, okay, thank you, goodbye, you know, no.
Yeah, you need to watch out for your food.
Yes,
that,
you need
no
to watch out,
parasites
yes,
come and take part of it.
Things don't come out alone, you know. Yeah.
Are you familiar with blockchain and cryptocurrencies?
Yes, a little bit.
What do you know about it?
Well, how the blockchain technology works. I don't think the music will be in blockchain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
People want the easy thing. I mean, I'm a music consumer, and like a crazy music consumer, and for me, the best that happened in the world was streaming.
Yeah.
You know.
And what do you think blockchain will do to music?
Like to, how you call it? You can only hear what you buy, you know?
No, not necessarily. The whole idea about blockchain is basically that everything is decentralized.
Mm-hmm.
So there is one, you can imagine it as a book that you open the first page and then you have to go through all the pages in order to continue it. So you cannot just tear some page in the middle, and you cannot jump from pages. You have to go through the whole code. That's why it's called blockchain.
Okay.
So only what's different about it cannot be manipulated, like let's say the book of the bank.
Okay.
Or any book that you can manipulate, basically. because you have a lot of people who also secure this book and they also watch it and they have a copy of it on their own PC.
Uh-huh.
And now what's going on? You have it started with the gaming, so you can play games. The best way to imagine it is like GTA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you play GTA, you kill some people, you steal some cars, you get some money. You know, you make some tasks, you make some missions, you get some money. What do you do with this money? Nothing. It just belongs to the game. But if it's a crypto money, then you can take this money, you can take it to exchange, and you can exchange it for real money that you can buy real food in the real world. And that's the genius thing about it. That's start to have infrastructure and to build up on top of it.
And how could this be in music?
So if someone listens to your music, you get paid for how long someone listened to your music.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get paid. It's not that Spotify get paid and they decide how much they want to distribute.
Okay, yeah, that would be beautiful, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what Spotify thinks about it.
I think they will have no choice about it. They will have no choice. This is what's called the Web 3.
Okay.
Web 3, you will also have ownership of the data.
Okay.
Because now you put your music on Spotify, but you don't really own it, right? They own it. Spotify owns it. They decide how much they want to put it and where they want to put it.
Yeah.
They can shadow ban you, right?
Well, you can take it out.
Yeah, you can take it out. But still they decide what to do. There is no platform that is decentralized.
Yeah.
That there is no influence whatsoever that people just can be there.
Well, that would be great. I hope this happens soon.
It happens slowly. It just depends, you know. Also, the economy is a bit slow now because there was crazy inflation due to Corona. So it's a recession at the moment. I think maybe 1 or 2 years, everything will go back to expansion and then it will really bloom. Also with AI, that will make everything even faster. And it will be interesting. It will be interesting time. Because then just by you owning your own content and your own data, you will get paid. You know, let's say, for example, this podcast, just people listening to the podcast, so let's say every minute they pay 1 cent.
Yeah.
And it's way more democratized like that.
Yeah, well, that would be great, yes.
Yeah, and also you have this NFTs that most people think it's a scam, right? You buy some random picture of digital picture of some monkeys, and you buy it for a lot of money, and then 2 months afterwards it loses the value, and then you lose all your money. But NFTs goes deeper than that. You can sell, let's say, an album, a digital version of this album, and if someone sells it afterwards, let's say it's limited edition, and you became really famous.
In this, I don't believe. I know this NFT things, and I know a lot of musicians trying things. Maybe still not the system is not tried. But what I'm sure is like streaming is very easy. You know, people don't want to go back to owning something. You know.
Yeah, it's also true. But still,
in my opinion, I mean, there will always be the people that they buy the vinyl, you know.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's another thing, and I think that's. But the mass, you know, like like I don't know, like not this album, like the albums before. Like I had CDs, and I still have a lot of CDs, and like, well, sometimes when it comes like. Some people like over 50 or over 60, they tell me like, "Hey, you have a CD?" And, yeah, here I have a CD. But like everybody, let's say under 40s, like they listen to streaming.
Yeah. There is nowhere to play the CDs anymore.
Yeah, I mean, do you have vinyl or do you have like
I have
something
some vinyl,
else?
but I don't have.
Or
did
you bought like an NFT or question? I don't know.
NFTs, I made myself NFTs.
Okay, but you bought an NFT from someone?
I sold NFTs.
Okay.
Actually, I did bought NFTs.
Okay.
It was this period of time when everything just started, so I bought like these little monsters.
But to tell you the truth, is like you know, the people also come to me and say, "Hey, why did you print vinyl? You know, it's just, you know, you print vinyl, then you spend like 2,000 euros, and then it's like you sell like 5 vinyls, maybe. You know, like okay."
Yeah, so, but that's the thing. Now I think the infrastructure is not as big as it can be, or it's not already set up for it. But what if you sell an album, digital copy of this album, and you have also a virtual space, you know, like the Cisco temple. I don't know. People go there And you can only access this virtual space, which you can have your VR set, right? Which in 5 years probably will be like the iPhone today.
Well, but someone needs to make the virtual temple and get to this. I mean, I think that
You will pay someone. You will pay 200 euros. Someone who knows how to do 3D art will build it for you.
Yeah, the future is like bright and everything can happen. But me as myself, I like doing things which I also consume. I know how to say, you know what I mean? Like, I know. I mean, if someone comes, like, they came a lot of people with the idea of making NFTs.
What kind of NFTs? Audio?
Audio NFTs and like picture NFTs. We were going to work with an artist, and like, but it was like super complex. Like, you have to, and then you always like, people say like, oh yeah, Madonna made an NFT and she sold it for 2 million. Yeah, she's Madonna, I mean, like,
yeah,
if she like farts, she will get 2 million euros. But if you're like an underground artist, and you make an NFT, then they won't sell from alone. You have to go and talk to the people that are interested, and it's like you have to play the game, and I don't know. Right now, I don't see it. Maybe if someone comes with an idea, or I mean, I'm open always, but at the moment, I'm not into these NFT things. And we tried with a company that they wanted to make my NFTs and we was always there. And then they were like, yeah, but it's expensive. And then it started to make anything like not really sense on the profitable way. It was like very artistic, and it would have been demanded a lot of times. And like, the only people I know that buys NFTs are like the people, my friends that are like into IT, like nerd people. And I don't know if my music is what they hear, so it's I'm talking now blind, I mean, I should make like a market research and everything, but I right now I'm not feeling it, and I don't see anyone like on my surroundings, other musicians that are making like, they're like, whoa, man, you know what? I printed NFTs, man, and now it's like, this is working, this is new shit, like.
There's some musicians that it goes well for them. You need the community, of course. You need to be part of it, because right now the crypto community is very small and very. It's underground basically.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time until all this technology will be implemented into apps that we can use without really knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
We don't think about all the code that's happening in the background when I transfer you money through PayPal, right?
Yes, hey.
It's easy. I just press the amount, I put your email, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Normal people want to do that, Normal people don't want to think about, like, wow, if I buy an NFT, like most of the people like don't even know what's an NFT and what to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you go to someone and say like, yeah, you want to listen to my music, get an NFT, like 95% of the people will tell me like, oh man, really? Aren't you in Spotify? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, right now it's not there yet, but the vision.
Yeah,
the vision is interesting.
It is like a new field, and
it's exciting.
And it's exciting, and and there are like great people working on that, and I think, it's the future. And as I told you, it's like last year I almost partnered with this company, with this IT company, and we almost took this venture, of making the NFTs of the new album and things. But then it was like super complex, and it was like, it's like, they think that they were like an IT company, It was like when it started to like, okay, guys, we have to make this and this and this, and we have to go and push it, and then, I don't know.
The promotion was the thing that was difficult?
Yes, because my idea was like, okay, you know what? We do this, we print this. I wanted to print, like, as I told you before, like my album was like one deck card. I want to get with an artist and to make all the cards of the deck, of the Spanish deck.
In the style of the album, kind of.
No, like
visuals.
visual.
But everything in unique style. So it will
Yes,
match
not
the
every
album.
card. You buy a card. You buy like the Tres de Oro.
physical.
You buy no an NFT.
Okay. So you buy a picture of card.
Yes.
Okay.
With my album or whatever. You know, it was like we were developing the concept. And okay, it was like an artist should be there. We should pay the artist to make the 40 cards, and then, but then I was telling the guys, you need to get me a few gigs where the shit is happening. You know, and it was like there was like this. There is this convention. I think it's in Texas. Like once a year, where like the DAO, you know, like this decentralized thing and NFT, and like all the nerds like join there together, and it's like 60,000 people. And I was like, dude, I need a gig there. You know, I want to play for the people that buy NFTs, not for a bar here in Kreuzberg where the people don't even know that NFTs exist. You know, so you know, we need to play for that. And then they started, well, I don't know, like, and when it's like, no, man, I mean, like, you know. I like the normal people that listen to my music. I believe there are some that they know how is it, and maybe there are some that they are into it, but it's like the less of them, you know.
Yeah, it's a small percentage.
If you make a product like that, you need to present it to the people that consume this and think that this is the future and you are changing the world, and you know, like.
Yeah.
And they want to support an artist that is, you know, embracing new technologies, you know, and they find you cool because you are making this, you know. If not, the people want to listen to it Spotify, you know, or in iTunes or whatever they have, you know. And then there is another that they will pay this in Bandcamp because they want to support you, you know.
Or they buy the merchandise from your website.
Or they buy the merchandise, you know. But the NFTs, I think, is a little bit for normal people too far away now. You know, I mean, like if you really want to make something, you as a musician, you have to if you make NFTs, you definitely have to present it to the people that buy this. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And play for them. You know.
I think even just to smell a bit what's going on in the scene. You know, just to be a little bit update.
Yeah.
And to see what's going on today with the NFT world and how artists are using NFTs and in what ways. You can also use it for reselling of tickets. You know,
you can use it for everywhere, but the thing is that you have to use it in a clever way, and you have to like make it accessible to the people and to the people that understands what NFTs is and they can use them. You know what I mean?
You need to be friends with the people who make
because
NFTs.
If I give like an NFT to my aunt, you know, that she's 70 years old and, you know, she don't even know how to send an email, you know, it's like, forget it, you know, or like to someone that their relationship with technology is just social media and emails, they are still not, it's not incorporated in the society, NFTs.
Not today.
Not today, yeah, in the future, yeah.
In the future, I think it's good to grow with that. Yeah. And not to wait until it's already all over the place and then I will learn about it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea, but you have to put the effort on this small community, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to learn it, and that's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to take so much time, I believe. Yeah. I believe now the opportunity is huge. In the next 2, 3, up to 5 years, the opportunity is huge. The way we consume media gonna change a lot. If this headset and virtual reality and augmented reality is going to be something we're going to consume every day, like we consume our phones, the way we consume music will be so different.
Yes, let's see what happens. You know, I mean, like, you know, sometimes also happens like, I don't know, you remember the mini disc?
The mini disc.
I know, wow, you know, after the CD, for the people that don't know and they're hearing us, came something that was called a mini disc.
Yeah.
Which actually was like a very good
it's a cool concept.
Device. No, and the audio quality was very good.
It was the same, right? It was just less space that you could print on this disc.
Yeah, and it was a completely flop. But at that time, everybody was like, yeah, this is a new thing, you know, after the Tantan will come the
Yeah, but then came the USB sticks where you can put like 250 megabytes of music.
And then came the sticks and came the
then
downloads.
1 gigabytes and then iPhones and the rest is history. Now I can show you here and I have this. So this is very tiny SSD card, and I have 2 terabytes in this.
Yeah.
And it's tiny. It can fit in the palm of my hand.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
very thin.
Yeah.
And there is 2 terabytes. There is also the 4 terabytes version.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I can fit it in my pocket and not even feel it.
Yeah.
And you can store so much there. Technology, it's also, it's a major force. I think now technology is in kind of a plateau at the moment. And then AI is pushing the rest.
Yeah, but for me to close this thing, you know, you know, it's like, okay, to sell music nowadays is like it's something that stopped being what it used to be, and it will come again. But right now, it's like, it's that, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, I get a concert, I go with the guitar alone, I get 300 euros. And for me, it's like more easy, more effective, and then I will get the gamma of my songs that I play in that place.
Yeah.
And that's way more easy than saying like, okay, how much Spotify listeners should I have for that? Or how much promotion should I make in Bandcamp that to happen, you know, to get $300 or how? So it's like the work you put in to get this $300 nowadays is way more if you try to sell your music, you already recorded, than if you try to play your music, you already record live, you know?
Yeah, I agree about it.
So there's where I put my focus, you know. I mean, like, and the rest, I don't know. I see it like a presentation card, you know. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I would love that, you know, to have this passive income, you know. But yeah, at the moment, it's not happening for me. And I see that the people that it's happening is because they put a lot of effort in it, you know. And I don't know if it's worth it afterwards, you know. I know.
Yeah, there is a good point in that.
Yeah.
Because if you just go and do gigs and it gets paid the most, then focus
you
on
know,
that.
yeah. Even if you get paid, I know, like even if you get paid 100 euros, that I think it should be the minimum you get paid for a gig, is 10 copies sold? No, more, because in Bandcamp you pay a commission also. You pay 10%, no? What is it in Bandcamp? I don't remember.
I don't know, maybe.
But let's say 12 copies, you know, or 11 copies, you know, 11 persons that put the money. I know, it's like, yeah, and in Spotify it's even, and in YouTube it's, I don't know. Yeah.
YouTube, I think you get between $3 to $6 every 1,000 plays.
Yeah.
That people see an ad.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have, like, I don't know, 600,000, I don't know, like, yeah.
It's difficult to get there, but once you get there...
Yeah, but once you get there everywhere. I mean, like, that's also, I was talking to a few producers. If you explode in Spotify, you will explode in YouTube, you will explode in iTunes, you will explode in Bandcamp, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can explode on the digital world, yeah, that's a dream. But I see that's... it's not that easy. I mean, I think it's, or maybe for me, you know, the relationship between work, effort, you know, and money is, for me, it's more, it's better to play live, you know. There's more money there. It's more now, you know, you play now, they pay you, they send you a transfer in the next days.
And how do you keep that steady, that you will have, that you will assure yourself that you will have enough concerts?
Well, sometimes I have, sometimes are more difficult, you know. It's like, I'm always like you know, you always have to plan, or Germany-wise, like 6 months ahead, and then there are like some other kind of concerts with other bands, you know, or like corporate concerts, which are not that interesting, but yeah,
they pay well.
They pay well, yeah.
Yeah, and you start now already for the summer. No, right now it's summer. Sorry, for the winter.
Yes.
So you already have your winter planned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning the winter now.
Yeah. All right, and what would be a successful planning? How many concerts would you have in a month or in a week? How do you plan it?
Let's say to survive, it needs like, yeah, between four concerts, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, because I also have like these other incomes, no, with music.
Yeah, the streaming.
The streaming, the GEMA, you know, like, but let's say like 4 concerts, you know, a good month is when I have like 8 to 10 concerts, yeah, which happens also. And then you also always like make like cushions, you know. And in Europe, there is also another thing that happens like once every 2 years, like you have all these scholarships and like the grants. That's another thing. It's a long, you know, if we're talking about music business and you are, you know, based in Europe, I think there's something you should be making all the time, you know.
Yeah, you apply a lot to the grants?
Yes.
And how often?
Well, like now it's a long time, but last year I was like really focused and like there were a lot of grants. Now they stopped because it looks like they gave like all the money away in Corona or I know what. But last year I applied to 10 grants. I got 1. But this one made a difference, you know.
Yeah, every grant can make a difference. Even 1,000 euros, it's money. Everything is gold. You know, everything helps.
Yes, and that's the thing. You know, you have to be everywhere. You know, let's say it's like because the gigs are good, but if maybe you have like a bad month, you know, there happens to me sometimes. You know, I have like a month with like 2 gigs, you know, 3 gigs because I mean, and then there is months with 12 gigs. You know.
Yeah.
But yes, you always have to be. Running after it. But if you are like, you realize like during the time, you know, like every year gets better and better and better, you know, every year you get better paid gigs, every year you get, you know, you get better with everything you do, you know, it's like practice the instrument, you know.
Yeah.
As soon as you make more booking, you get better in booking, you know. And yeah, you fill up more grants, you get better in filling up grants, you know.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more you do stuff, you get better at it. It's only about doing stuff and consistency.
Yeah. But the key thing is that, you know, you have to work. I mean, that's there's no magic.
No, there is no magic.
If we talk about money, you know, yeah.
Yeah, the other way is to find some way that makes you money that is not music related if you want to go to this adventure. Because I think there are many ways that can make you way more money than music.
Yeah.
And once you have this income, then you're free to do
I also
music.
like for this album, not that for the album before, for example, I got private sponsors.
What do you mean? Like
I got 2 companies that I printed CDs and everything, and I put the names of them, and one gave me like 3,000 euros, other were like 1,800.
Ah, how did you find them? Or they found you?
No, I started talking, like, you know, like to people went there, Tang, and some of them, like the 2 of them. One was a demolition company in Munich.
Demolition?
Yes.
Company that destroys buildings.
Yes, and the other one was a pipe company in Austria.
So
They make pipes, water pipes.
What made them invest in the album? Just so they can have the name there?
Yeah, well, they can have the name there, and also it's like a way they don't pay taxes. You know, the money would go to the taxes, or they give us. I know it was a lot of work. I wanted to try it out. In this album, I didn't make it because also we didn't also have like physical copy. Yeah.
How can artists find companies like that, or how can artists approach them?
You have to approach them, like, you know.
Just approach them. I'm a musician.
Them, yeah. I mean, like these companies that we knew, like personal contacts in, like the bosses of the companies and tan, you know. So I kind of, you know, like honey talked them, you know, and I went there and I called them and I had, you know, like a lunch and talked about the project and yeah.
And they just put the money there and that's it?
Well, yeah, I made like a bill for it, you know.
All right.
It's an official transaction, you know.
Yeah, definitely. But they ask for percentage.
No. It was for them, it was like a publicity thing to do.
I see.
Yeah, but it was like a lot of work, you know, a lot of like networking work. And a lot of companies, of course, told me no, the majority of them. But yeah, you know, if you get creative, you know, I know.
Yeah, there is no limit.
There is no limit. I mean, and the world is full of money.
Yes. Yes, sometimes all you need to do,
I mean, sometimes you watch like YouTube or you watch TV or you watch whatever, like newspaper, and you see how the world spends money on, and you're like, oh my God, man.
You don't even need to go so far.
With the 0.00001% of that, I'm done, you know? I mean, like, I can record an incredible album and, you know...
Sometimes I go in the streets here and I see those really luxurious cars. And I think if I just sell one car, I have enough money for 3 years just to live. And it's only one car that I see. Imagine how much money just flowing in every day in Berlin. Just flowing, just moving and switching hands. Billions, I would say. So all you need to do is just to reach your hand and grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can finish with that.
Let's finish with that.
How can people find you, Cisco?
Yeah, I don't know. I got a little bit business-wise, the conversation. But, well, it's like that, yeah. Yeah, I think it's like, you're also a musician, so it's always good, you know, and also I think it's very good to be talking to other musicians, like, okay, how's the money stuff, you know? Because it's like a big mystery, you know.
It is.
Well, just to close, I want to say this. You know, I studied in a music university when I was younger. You know, and this big problem you have, like in art universities, that you learn how to make your craft good, but you don't learn how to sell it. You know, and in this music university, like we all played great, but then it's like you are out and you're young and you're like, okay, where's my Japan tour? You know, who's calling me to play with them? You know. And the only alternative is like, okay, you teach, you know.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of other alternatives that nobody talks about, and I think it's good to talk about and to change opinions, you know, like, I don't know, right now you were telling me about the NFTs. I know you have like more information about it, you know, so yeah, that's very important, you know, like help each other and talk about things and like,
yeah, new possibilities.
New
like
possibilities.
Go into companies that ask them for money.
Yes. I mean, what can you lose? No, get the fuck out of here. I mean, you can. That's the worst.
Either way, you don't
happen.
have money.
Yeah.
So.
The only thing you can lose is time, you know. But yeah.
And I think most of the answers that you will ask something, it will be no. The majority of them.
Yeah.
And you need to keep on going. You know, not you specifically, but you as the people who are listening.
Yeah.
Also for me as well, it's a good reminder just to keep on going. And one yes can change your whole world.
Yeah.
And it can change the course of your life. It can open up so many doors. Cool. How can people find your music? How can people see your concerts?
We talk about Spotify, YouTube. It's Cisco Pema. I mean, if you Google it, probably comes everything. I have like a website. It's called ciscopema.com, which is like a elegant landing page, let's call it. There you can find me like in Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Everything you type Cisco Pema is me.
Go find Cisco.
Yeah, go find Cisco, yeah.
Thank you so much, brother.
Hey, thank you for inviting me.
Hell yes. Ciao, people.
Goodbye.
Cuando sobre los problemas se me ocurren más ideas para estar mejor mientras me esperas afuera. Yo busco las llaves de la razón. El invierno que me quema. Cuando salgo de mi casa intentándolo, me pregunto en qué manera habrá que hablar todo lo que pasó. Quizás me muera en el intento, quizás yo pueda ver por dentro. Quizás pueda entender que esto yo ya lo viví o no. Cuando el tiempo se detenga y baje la polvareda de mi malestar, cambiaremos Cambiemos el concepto para viajar juntos a otra realidad. En esta ciudad el día se acaba cuando el sol se va y yo crucé otro charco y no volví más, que me bajé del barco y no miré para atrás, que se acabó el verano y ya no hay carnaval, que solo es un recuerdo del barrio sur. Queda, sabías que esto se iba a terminar. Extraño Montevideo, va, que va, si vos sabes que daba para más. Tenemos que volver a vernos. Nana, nana, nana. Hoy me acordé del bar donde te conocí, cerca de aquel tablado donde me hiciste reír. Sabíamos que ya era solo esa noche, después no había más. El tiempo no es verdad, me vuelvo a despertar. Quizás lo que soñé, alguien lo vivirá. Y si te vuelvo a ver, por algo es que será. Queda, sabías que esto se iba a terminar. Extraño Montevideo, va, que va, si vos sabes que daba para más. Tenemos que volver a vernos. Nana, nana, nana. Cielo rosa mientras quemo querosén. Llego a Buenos Aires hoy, donde todo habla como yo. ¿Quién te hizo creer a vos que acá ya estaba mejor? Voy a ver el río hoy que me cuenta qué pasó. Y veo que el verano nos divierte. Que vuelvo estás presente y no se sabe qué quiere la gente, te vas a ver. Y otra vez se vota presidente. Cielo rosa mientras quemo querosén.